We are in Tempe right now. About to hit a pool. One thing is, even though they all treat the apartments here like shit, they're pretty bougie. They're pretty nice. Like this apartment, even though half of them are just completely trash because college students live here, it is so nice. Like the amenities themselves are really nice. The place itself is really nice. So I'm not going to give you guys an apartment tour because this isn't my place and that's their space. But I mean, just by the way this bathroom looks, yeah, it's not too bad. I'll show you guys by the pool. You guys can get a little bit of a better little thing there. To give you guys a little bit of perspective, I'm gonna show you guys how do you oh, is there a lock right here? Oh, there is a lock. Okay, down maybe. I'm struggling trying to open this lock. There we go. I want to show you guys the outside of it at least. So some of you guys may recognize this, but this is the apartment space right here. Like there's the pool, which kind of looks a little bit dirty, but overall, I mean, you can see that the concept they're going with and the fact that it's pretty nice here. Tell me the story again. So there was brownie crumbs.
Yes. My property managers are terrible. They're literally all this younger staff and they don't hire any janitors to clean anything whatsoever. There was literally brownie breadcrumbs that were on the side part, like the little white border panel of the wall. And it was there on the side, and then they hired somebody to do all the flooring again, like the carpeting and putting it down, switching it out, and the breadcrumbs were still there.
That's
so
totally
precise.
like not my mess, not my problem type of thing. That's literally how it is. Like this place would be so nice if it weren't for college students, because like the price might seem outrageous, but if you think about it, after each college kid moves in here, the amount of reconstruction,
and they know how to stand you too, because as soon as you move in, they show me the guest room of like.
Oh yeah, they'll show you the nicest one.
Yeah, and then it's all like furnished. It's the most modern like room. They're like, it's gonna look just like this.
Yeah.
It has modern painting done. Everything's fixed. It looks brand spanking new. And then I come to this apartment. It's a 2008 renovation, and like. You scrub the bathtub and the paint comes off and then it gets stuck in the fucking thing.
Well, the one that they show you is the one that college students haven't lived in. No one's lived in it, so it's going to stay pristine because there's no one actually living in them. Versus here, this is probably like someone moved out and then they're like, okay, well, let's make it look good. Let's paint over. Like the first apartment that I moved in here, literally the only thing that they did is they just coated the entire thing in paint. Like they literally coated the outlets in paint.
But it's not like sustainable paint.
No.
It falls off.
Yeah,
it's like
it peels off immediately.
It's such cheap maintenance.
I feel like if they didn't rent to college students, and this isn't to say like anti-college student thing, but if they didn't rent...
You don't trust them as much. It's like giving a loan out to a college student without having a cosigner. Why would I do that? Like, why would any bank do that?
Yeah.
They're going to have their parents co-sign it because they don't trust kids. They literally put
If you guys were curious, here's the brownie crumbs that literally, like, they had to redo this whole floor
and
here.
everything. It's been there for months.
But they just was like, you know what? Not my mess, not my problem. This is definitely something to get used to. That's for sure. Especially when it comes to filming in public or filming around other people, because people still kind of give you some weird looks. So definitely trying to get used to that a little bit, but just something I have to improve on. I realized with these videos, I just like for these to be memories, and especially with times like this where I have multiple different avenues of what I'm doing. Right now I'm in the middle of getting a few different movies or films produced. So I had a meeting with a DP that I know, or a director of photography, director of production, and a writer. So hopefully my goal by the end of 2024 is to have 3 productions done. I don't know how audacious that is at the very moment, but as far as everything goes right now, that's the goal. I want to have completed 3 projects of something that I'm more than just an actor in. So that's what has been super heavy right now. And then trying to get this episode of the podcast filmed. If you haven't already, go check that out, Unmasked with Alex. It's on Spotify, Apple, The YouTube channel is also up, which has the video version, so definitely check that out. But a lot of time right now is being spent with trying to schedule people for this podcast and trying to really continue to build this discipline. It's a lot more difficult than it seems, and there's a lot of stuff, especially with being more self-employed, than people tend to bring up. The discipline with actually working when there's no boss or anything that's hovering over your head saying that if you don't come in now, you're fired. That's a whole different type of spectrum. I mean, technically, yeah, I could sleep in, I could just not go to work, but that means that you lose out on money. So that's part of one of the big things with doing this, and there's no PTO. So if you get sick, you have to hope that you've built up a savings or that you're able to make up for it later on. I've had to already go through that when I was sick a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, there's just a lot of different things with doing this and trying to remember the human aspect of this, the fact that we are human, and regardless of how many people are on social media saying that you just need to keep grinding, you need to forget society and go on your own, that's the worst advice I've ever heard. You should learn a little bit more balance, and obviously life can't be 100% balanced, but completely taking out things like social life can be very unhealthy, especially if you deal with mental health stuff such as depression and anxiety. So there's just a lot of different battles and stuff that you have to kind of learn how to overcome a little bit, that I especially have been trying to overcome. One of the things as well, when it comes to especially being more self-employed, that you should probably take in consideration, especially if you don't own a home yet, and this is one of the big things I ran into last year when I was trying to get an apartment, is proof of income. A lot of places are very strict with proof of income, even if you make some decent money. I was doing Uber last year, and while I was making some decent money, enough to pay for my bills and stuff, there were probably more places that would not accept bank deposits or whatever pay stub type of thing that Uber gives you. So that was a very big hurdle to go around. So I'm not saying this to make anyone not want to be an entrepreneur or make anyone not want to chase this, but this is the real side of this kind of stuff. Yes, there is some fun stuff with getting to make your own schedule, the fact that I don't have to ask a boss or anything about days that I get off, or if something does come up last minute, I am able to take it on, but anyway, I just want to preface with all this, or at least end this video on a higher note, saying that whatever you decide to do, enjoy it. Do not chase something just because there's a financial gain behind it. Do not chase something just because of superficial stuff. Chase it because you genuinely love it, or there's a purpose behind it. Everything that I'm doing now, I might not be getting rich off of right now, but it's stuff I absolutely love to do. And for me, that's what's most important. Obviously, you're not going to absolutely love every part of what you do. That's just not possible. There's going to be at least one little part in something that you're doing that you might not like more than the other stuff. Podcasting, editing can be a pain in the ass. I don't hate it, but it's definitely not my favorite thing to do. Acting, there's plenty of stuff. Getting told no all the time. Even if there is some stuff, don't take that as this isn't right for me. Weigh things out, but just make sure that you're chasing something that is going to make a positive impact for your life, for other people's lives, for both. Just keep that in mind. And listen to yourself. Listen to your body, but don't be afraid to push it a little bit. I know that depression and anxiety and all these things can really hinder a lot of stuff in people's lives. But just know that it is never too late to start. Even if you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, whatever, how old, it is never too late to make a day one. Please don't think that just because you're in your late 20s that whatever career that you wanted to have, it's too late for, or have those stigmas that, oh, I'm in my 30s, so it's too late. I'm in my 40s, it's too late. It's never too late. Start now. Start tomorrow. Start the next day. If you can't start today, start whenever you can. Just start. It doesn't matter how shitty it's going to be at first. That first step is going to just be like, the first little bit is always going to be that learning experience. There's a reason why they say that you have to put in 10,000 hours for something to become big. With the podcast, that was a big lesson that I learned. The first few episodes I did of that podcast were definitely not pretty, but it helped me with really learning how to be a podcaster. Even now, I'm not professional by any means, but I'm a hell of a lot better than I used to be. So don't be afraid to just go for it and take that first step. Even if you don't have the best equipment, even if you don't have the best setting or the best whatever. Whatever you have now, work with it, use it, and just go. So with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Do something you love and remember that you are amazing, and God bless you guys.